Hey everybody, this is a round one game. We're finishing up round one here in May Madness as we're at April the 27th and we're getting close to May, so I want to at least get the second round started before May gets here because we still have quite a ways to go. So this is going to be the number 6 seed 2004 Boston Red Sox against the number 11 seed Philadelphia Phillies of 77. Phillies already have played a game in this tournament. They beat the Royals in a play-in game, which is why Steve Carlton is not available. So they're going to have to use Larry Christensen, and the Red Sox will go with Curt Schilling. You see the lineup there, so that will allow me to skip that process and go straight to the game. So without further ado, let's get this game going, and let's see who's going to come out on top. And the winner of this game will get to play the 2016 World Champion Chicago Cubs. So either team that wins this ought to have an interesting thing. And if the Phillies do happen to win, then Steve Carlton would be eligible to come back against the Cubs. But first things first, they got to beat the Red Sox. So we'll move this out of the way. And we will go ahead and get started as we have Curt Schilling lined up, ready to go for the Red Sox. Get the camera the way I need it to be so we can hopefully can read the cards fairly well. When it's off the pitching card, I'll just refer to Schilling. When it's off the batter card, then I will bring the batter cards into camera view and we'll check the batting result. But right now it's Bake McBride, the right fielder, is going to lead off for the Phillies. It's a 1-9, so we are under McBride, and that's a ground ball back to Schilling. So it can't be too much easier for Schilling on that one, a simple 1-3 ground out. And there's one away for Larry Boa. Switch hitter, batting left. It's a 5-11, so a lefty, 5-11. It's ground ball first base X. First baseman is Kevin Millar, or as they say in Boston, Mala. So Mala is a 4 rated first baseman. Not very good. But he got a break. It's 19, so he is able to make the play. And there's two ground outs, 2 ground balls, 2 ground ball outs. And that'll bring up Mike Schmidt, or as Harry Callis used to say, Michael Jack Schmidt. Okay, it's a 4-9 off of Schilling against a righty. It's a ground ball shortstop X. And for the Red Sox, the shortstop was, or is, Orlando Cabrera. And he is a 2 rated shortstop, so we'll get that check on Cabrera. And that's an 18, so the D20 is kind to the Red Sox. 3 up, 3 down go the Phillies, nothing doing. We go to the bottom of the first. It's Phillies nothing, Red Sox coming to bat. And that'll bring on Larry Christensen to start throwing. And Johnny Damon will be his first batter faced. It's a 2-6 for Damon against a righty. 2-6 is a single. So Johnny Damon leads off with a single. He's a B stealer, but Boone's a -2 arm, so they're going to go ahead and hold him. And Cabrera's the batter, Orlando Cabrera. It's a 1-7 against Christensen, so 1-7 against a righty is another single for Cabrera. That's 2 stars. So back-to-back singles puts runners at the corners with nobody out. And that'll bring up Manny Ramirez. Man-Ram. It's a 4-2. He's a righty, so 4-2 is a fly ball left field B. And that's a sacrifice fly for Manny Ramirez. Flies it out there to John Stone in left for out number 1. Damon trots in. And the Red Sox grab a quick 1-0 lead for Big Papi, with Cabrera still at first. It's a 2-6 for Papi. 2-6 is a walk. So Ortiz draws that walk, puts runners at first and second with only 1 out. And Christensen having some issues here in the first inning. We'll be facing Jason Varitek, the catcher. Switch hitter, batting lefty. 3-10 against the right-hander. 3-10 is a fly ball to right field B. There's no ballpark effect, so it's simply going to be a fly ball to right. 2 down. And that'll bring up Kevin Millar, first baseman. It's a 2-6 for Millar. And it's a walk, and that's going to load the bases. So Christensen having a rough first inning here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. This could really break open the game in the first inning if you can't get Trot Nixon, the right fielder. He's up. Lefty hitter Trot Nixon. It's a 2-6 for Nixon. He's going to pop it up to the first baseman, Richie Hebner, and Christensen gets out of further damage as the Red Sox leave him loaded. And you wonder if that might come back to haunt him. So after all of that, the Red Sox only got 1 run, so it's 1-0. And we go to the top of the second. And Greg Luzinski, the Bull, will lead things off for the Red Sox against Schilling. It's a 5-8. 5-8 for Schilling. It's a ground ball to second base X. And the second baseman is Mark Bellhorn, who's not a good one. He's a 4. And that's a 6. So I'm not sure what that's going to result in, but we'll take a look. Second baseman, a 4 and a 6. It's a single, infield single, or single with 1 star, so we'll call it an infield single. Maybe he knocked it down onto the grass because Luzinski's not going to beat out too many infield singles, but he did that one. And that'll bring up Richie Hebner. It's a 3-7 for Hebner against Schilling, and that's a fly ball to center. So Hebner flies to center for out number 1. Brings up Greg Maddox. I'm sorry, not Greg Maddox. That would be a story. It's Gary Maddox. 6-7 for Schilling, and that's a home run check. He's got an in home run, and Gary Maddox does have in power. So it's a 1-9, and Gary Maddox will give the Phillies a 2-1 lead. It's a 4, and he does. So Gary Maddox, a 2-run shot, and the Phillies grab a 2-1 lead. So Gary Maddox coming through for the Phillies. Here's Jay Johnstone, left fielder. It's a 3-7 for Johnstone, and that's going to be a single. A single, 2 stars. Nobody's on base. It's simply a single. And that'll bring up Bob Boone, the catcher. And that's a 4-7. Boone's a right-handed batter. 4-7 is a strikeout. So Boone out on strikes for 2 outs. And here is Ted Sizemore. Sizemore, a 4-8. And against a righty, it's a fly ball to right. And that's going to end the inning. But the Phillies take a 2-1 lead thanks to the Gary Maddox 2-run homer. Go to the bottom of the second. And Bill Miller, third baseman, will lead off, switch hitter, and he's going to be facing Christensen. So that's 2-4 for Miller. 2-4 is a pop out to the shortstop, so no ballpark effect. So it's simply a pop out to short. 1 away, and that'll bring up Mark Bellhorn. It's a 2-8 for Bellhorn against a righty, and he walks. So that's the 3rd walk issued in 9 batters by Christensen. All of them have come off the Red Sox cards, I believe. So it's not really his fault. It's just the Red Sox drew a lot of walks that year. Here's Damon. He's batting left, 4-8. Ground ball second base B, so we got a fielder's choice. As Sizemore flips to Boa for the force on Bellhorn. And Johnny Damon reaches first base on that fielder's choice. Brings up Orlando Cabrera. Cabrera, it's a 5-11. He is a righty. 5-11, that's a single to right field. So a single to right field, and with 2 outs, you wonder if they should try to advance the runner. McBride is a +1. Damon was being held, which means he's a 16. 17, 2 outs gives him. All right, well, we'll go ahead and send him. It's a 19. I believe he is out. Yes, he is. No, he's not. No, he's not. I take it back because it's a 17. He was being held, makes him a 16. It's 2 outs, so he gets the benefit of the 2-out advantage, which makes him an 18. And McBride's a +1. That's a 19. So it had to be a 20 for him to be out, so he does make it. If I'm incorrect on that, somebody please let me know. But the factors with the 2 outs, Johnny Damon runs at a 17. It was being held. Bake McBride is a +1, and there are 2 outs. So seems like to me you subtract 1 and add 3. That makes it 19, and that would make him safe. So that's what I'm going to go with. 2 outs and runners at the corners for Manny Ramirez. It's a 4-8 for Christensen, and that's a ground ball to third, so it's a moot point anyway, as the inning is over. So nothing doing for the Red Sox. It's 2-1 after 2 in favor of the Phillies. And Bake McBride, top of the order, back up. McBride to 6-9 against Schilling as a lefty. He strikes out. So McBride with a strikeout. Here's Larry Boa. Larry Boa. We got a 5-4. And a 5-4 is a catcher X. Catcher X. Catcher X. And Veritek is a 2 rated catcher. That's a 13. Probably an error check, but we will verify. No, it's actually going to be on the range here. Pass ball and pop out. Nobody's on, so it's simply a pop out to Veritek for out number 2. And that brings up Schmidt. That's a 1-6 for Schmitty. 1-6 against a right-hander is a ground ball to second. Bellhorn handles it. And down go the Phillies in order. 1, 2, 3 in the top of the third. We go to the bottom of the third. And it's Mr. Ortiz. Big Papi. It's a 3-5 for Big Papi, and he's going to strike out. So Big Papi with the whiff. 1 away. Brings up Jason Veritek. 1-7 for Veritek, and he's going to whiff. So back-to-back strikeouts as Christensen puts down 2 big hitters with strikeouts. And here's Mala. Mala, a 2-10. Mala will single to left field. Sorry, my Boston accent is not very good. I'm from Virginia, so I probably have some sort of a southern drawl accent or something, but so probably not very good at trying to imitate a New England accent. Here's Trot Nixon, 6-2. So Trot Nixon, get Christensen in there. Trot Nixon, a 6-2, and that's a home run possibility, 1-9, because he does have normal power. So a 1-9, and that's a 1. He got it. Trot Nixon, a 2-run shot, and the Red Sox are back out in front. The Red Sox are back out in front. And I'm wondering if I did some forgetting to move the cards around, because I don't remember on Ortiz and on Veritek whether they were strikeouts on the batter card or the pitcher card, because I had Schilling up there, so that may have been a mistake, but I can't go back and correct it now because I don't know what happened. So we're just going to let it go as is. The 2-run home run by Nixon, however, gives the Red Sox a 3-2 lead. And here is Christensen now to 5-10 against the switch-hitting Miller batting left. 5-10's a fly ball to center, and the inning is over. But the Red Sox take a 3-2 lead. And we go to the fourth. Schilling back out there. He has a fatigue rating of 7, and Christensen has a fatigue rating of 6. Here's Luzinski to 4-7. 4-7's a strikeout by Schilling. So 1 away. As Schilling gets the K. Here is Hebner. Hebner, a 5-8. 5-8's a ground ball second base X. Ground ball second base X. That's Bellhorn, who's a 4. And that's a 15. 4 and a 15 at second base. 4 and a 15. It's a ground ball C. He'll make the play. 2 away for Gary Maddox. And Maddox homered his first time up. See if he can do it again. It's a 4-7. This time it's off Schilling. 4-7 is a strikeout against a righty. And Schilling has now retired 8 in a row as he has a 3-2 lead and is getting some confidence going. Here's Larry Christensen. He'll be facing Bellhorn to start the fourth. And that's a 2-4 for Bellhorn. 2-4 against a right-hander is a fly ball to right. And that's 1 away. Handled out there by McBride. Here's Johnny Damon back to the top of the order. It's a 4-7, and he's going to walk. A walk to Johnny Damon. Here in the bottom of the fourth brings up Orlando Cabrera. Cabrera, a 1-7. 1-7 for Cabrera is a single with 2 stars. So much like he did in the first inning, Cabrera singles Damon to third. So runners are at the corners with 1 out for Manny Ramirez. Phillies will play it at double play depth. Trying to turn 2. 110 for Ramirez. Well, they got the ground ball, but it's ground ball C, so the run will score. Johnny Damon will come in to score. RBI for Manram. Cabrera actually goes to second, and Ramirez is out 4-3. But now the Red Sox take a 4-2 lead with that RBI ground out. And here's Big Papi. First base is open, but they're going to pitch to him. To 6-11. 6-11 may have been a bad idea. It's a single to left field by Big Papi. And Johnstone in left does have a -1 arm. Cabrera runs a 14. He was being held, makes him a 13. -1 gives him a 12. 2 outs makes it 14. He's got a 1-14 chance. They're going to take it. 1-14, he'll make it. To 2, he's definitely in there. So Cabrera scores on the RBI single by Big Papi. It's now 5-2 Red Sox, and the Philly bullpen is active. Here's Jason Varitek to 6-4. 6-4 is a catcher X. That is Boone, and Booney is a 2. And that's a 5. So on a 2-rated catcher, and a 5 is a wild pitch and a pop out. So the wild pitch does, oops, sorry about that. The wild pitch does move Ortiz to second base, but then Varitek pops it up to Boone to end the inning. But it is a 5-2 ball game as we go to the 5th. And the Philly bullpen is already well underway, and it looks like Gene Garber is going to be coming in to pitch in the bottom of the 5th. But right now, Schilling is in there, but it's do or die for the Phillies, so they can't afford to wait around. So Garber is one of their top relievers, but they need to hold the fort right where it is. Here's Jay Johnstone, as it looks like Schilling may be in a groove, so they could be in trouble. 3-10. 3-10's a pop out to first, handled by Mala, and there's one away for Bob Boone. Boone, a 5-9. That's a strikeout for Schilling. So, again, Schilling appears to be in that groove where it doesn't look like anybody's going to mess with him. Here's Sizemore. 1-6 for Sizemore is a ground ball to short. All those hits, and he found a ground ball to short. That's what happens when you're in the groove as a pitcher. You get those breaks. So we go to the bottom of the 5th, and now Gene Garber is the new Philly pitcher. Christensen only went 4 innings, and he gave up 5 runs all earned, so he didn't last long for sure. So leading off will be Kevin Mala against the sidewinding right-hander Garber. 5-8. 5-8's a ground ball to second. So that's Sizemore, and Sizemore is a 3. And that rolls an 18, so that's a good play. Ground ball to Sizemore, 1 away. Brings up Trot Nixon. It's a 5-8 against Garber, the lefty. It's a ground ball to second X again, which is another chance for Sizemore. Again, he's a 3. That's a 20, so he obviously makes that play as well. Those high D20 numbers. Brings up third baseman Bill Miller. And Miller, a 5-5. Miller's a switch hitter batting left. 5-5 is a single to center field. So Bill Miller gets his first hit of the game. Brings up Mark Bellhorn, number 9 hitter. Switch hitter batting left, 5-11. 5-11's a ground ball to second, and again, handled this time by Sizemore to end the inning. So we go to the 6th, and the Phillies seemingly in trouble as Schilling is on a roll. The Sox seem to have a commanding 5-2 lead, but the Phillies had good offense, so you never know. Here is Bake McBride, 6-5. Well, there's a start. 1's a triple. 2-20 is a double. So Bake McBride looking to get the extra bases, and he leads off with a double to start the 6th. So maybe if you're the Phillies, this is their opportunity to make a run. Here's Boa, 6-10. He's a switch hitter batting left. 6-10's a fly ball center field X, and the center fielder is Damon. He is a 2-rated center fielder. And that's a 16, so that's a good play. And McBride will stay right where he is. That'll bring up Michael Jack Schmidt. 6-7 against Schilling. 6-7, that's a home run possibility. 1-9 will be a home run for Schmidt. If this is a 1-9, we got a 1-run ball game. It's a 1, so Mike Schmidt just went yard off of Schilling Don't count the Phillies out. All of a sudden, it's a 5-4 ball game. Just like that. And here's Luzinski. It's a 2-6 for Luzinski. 2-6. 1-10 is a single. 11-20 is a ground ball to third. That's a 6. That's a single for Luzinski. So a 1-out single, and that brings up Richie Hebner, as Luzinski's now the tying run on base. That's a 6-7 against a lefty, and that's a strikeout. He has not reached his point of weakness, so it is a strikeout. 2 down, and that brings up Gary Maddox. 2-6 for Maddox. 2-6 is a pop out to the second baseman, Bellhorn, to end the inning. But the Phillies, thanks to that 2-run homer by Schmidt, cuts the lead to 5-4. And Garber still out there. He can go a couple of innings. Here's Johnny Damon to lead things off. As now we have a tight ball game. It's 2-8 for Damon. That's a pop out to Boa at short for 1 away. As the Red Sox may be counting the chickens before they hatched in this game. Here's Cabrera. 1-5 for Cabrera. Well, that'll do some damage. 1-14 is a double. 15-20 is your basic single. It's a 12. That's a double for Cabrera. Cabrera's 4 for 4 in this game. 3 singles and a double. So he certainly has provided the punch that the Red Sox have looked for. Here's Manny Ramirez. It's a 6-5 against Garber, and that's a fly ball to center for out number 2. And they're not going to mess around. They're going to walk Ortiz this time. They didn't do it last time. They're intentionally walking him this time. And they'll set up the force play with 2 outs to face Jason Varitek, who's 0 for 3. That's a 5-12. It's ground ball first base X. That is Hebner. And Hebner is a 3-rated first baseman. And that's a 2. That's probably a base hit. Might even be a star base hit. The first baseman 3 and a 2 is a single with 2 stars. So Varitek thwarts the intentional walk strategy by singling in Cabrera and getting the Red Sox an insurance run. They now lead at 6-4. And Ortiz will rumble to third base. So Garber almost done for the day, but he's got one more batter to face, Kevin Millar. And it's a 2-5 for Millar, and he's going to walk. So now Garber is at his point of weakness. And with the lefty Trot Nixon coming in, the Phillies will make the move to Tug McGraw. So Tug McGraw, the new Phillies pitcher, going to be facing the lefty Trot Nixon in his first batter to face to try to get out of this jam. Lefty on lefty matchup. It's a 4-9. And a 4-9 is a ground ball shortstop X. That's Larry Boa. Boa's a 1. And it's a 15, so he'll make the play. And the inning's over, so just the 1 run coming in. Garber goes 2 innings and gives up the 1 run. It's 6-4 Red Sox as we start the 7th. And the 7th is where Schilling's point of weakness inning begins. He'll be facing Jay Johnstone, left fielder. It's a 4-6, and that's a fly to right. So 1 away for Bob Boone. Booney. Bob Boone's a 2-6 against Schilling, and that's a 1-4 single. 5-20 will be a liner to Cabrera. And it is a 17, so it's a liner to Cabrera. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 7th for Ted Sizemore. Almost called him Grady Sizemore. Ted Sizemore. It's a 4-6. 4-6 against Schilling is a fly to right, and that's going to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Nothing doing there for the Phillies. Go to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch, but we're going to keep rolling, literally and figuratively, as Tug McGraw is back in there to face Bill Miller, switch hitter batting right this time. It's a 1-6 against the lefty. That's a fly to center, and there's 1 away. For another switch hitter, Mark Bellhorn, number 9 hitter. Mark Bellhorn. Bellhorn, a 4-6. 4-6, he's batting right-handed. That is a fly to right, and there's 2 away. Back to the top of the order, and Johnny Damon, another lefty-on-lefty matchup for McGraw. And that's a 5-9. 5-9. 5-9 for McGraw is a ground ball second base. So handled there by Sizemore to end the inning. All right, we go to the 8th. It is still 6-4. And the Red Sox bullpen starting to move around down there. Keith Folke is their closer. But they also have some other guys down there that can bridge the gap. I don't know who they want to go to here. They could go to, well, they don't have a whole lot in the middle relief category. It doesn't appear to anyway. Mike Timlin maybe, Ramiro Mendoza, Terry Adams. No, he wasn't very good either. A lot of troubles in this middle relief part of the thing here. So they're going to have to see if Schilling can go one more inning and bridge the gap to Folke. Or Keith Folk. I think it's pronounced Folk. I think the E is silent. So Schilling's going to give it one more go here against Bake McBride. 6-7 is a strikeout. He has not reached his point of weakness because he hasn't given up anything since he's gotten to his inning. So he's still got 3 hits or walks to give up before he gets his point of weakness. So here's Larry Boa. It's a 4-6, and that's a fly to right. Technically, I guess Schilling could try for the complete game, but I think they're going to let Folk come in and pitch the 9th. Here's Mike Schmidt. He homered last time. It's a 6-7. No homer this time. Well, it might be. I spoke too fast. I think it's where he got the home run last time. 1-9. A 1-9, and Schmidt will have his second home run of the game. And he does. It's a 1. So Schmidt, second home run of the game, and all of a sudden it's a 6-5 ball game. And here is Luzinski. Luzinski against Schilling. It's a 4-7. 4-7 is a strikeout. Again, he has not reached a point of weakness because he's only allowed the 1 hit since that inning. So the strikeout will stand, but looks like that's going to be it for Schilling, the 8 innings, as Folk will come in, or Folke. I don't remember how it was pronounced. I want to say just Folk, but could be wrong. All right, so Tug McGraw still in there. He's pitched well in relief, so they're going to let him stay in there to face Cabrera, who's 4 for 4. And that went behind him there. That's a 5-5, and that's a strikeout against a right-hander. So McGraw finally figured out Cabrera. Somebody did, and got him out. Here's Manny Ramirez. It's a 3-6 against a lefty, and that's a strikeout. So Tug McGraw doing very well to keep his team in the ball game. That brings up Big Papi, lefty-on-lefty matchup. And for Big Papi, that is a 1-7 against a lefty. 1-7 is a fly to center. That ends the inning. So we go to the 9th. And Keith Folk is officially in the ball game for the Red Sox, who hold a 6-5 lead. And coming up for the Phillies will be Hebner, Maddox, and Johnstone. So Folke trying to close it out here. First at bat is against Hebner. It's a 1-5. Hebner, 1-5 is a walk. That's not what you want to do when you're protecting a 1-run lead, is walk the leadoff batter. And now he's got Gary Maddox to face. That's a 2-8 for Maddox. 2-8, however, he's going to get a break. Ground ball shortstop A. That's a 6-4-3 double play. And he may get out of this, as now there are 2 outs and the base is empty. And it's up to Jay Johnstone. Last chance for the Phillies. 5-9 is a strikeout, and the ball game is over. So Keith Folk added a little drama there, but he was able to hold on, and the Phillies drop to the Red Sox 6-5. Winning pitcher was Curt Schilling. The loser was Christensen, and the save to Folk. And with that victory, the 2004 Red Sox will be facing the 2016 Cubs in the next round. They can't use Schilling, but they will be using Pedro Martinez. So Pedro Martinez will get his crack at the Cubs. So I hope everybody enjoyed that game between the Red Sox and the Phillies. Some run scoring, a little bit of drama there near the end, I guess you want to call it that. But in the end, the Red Sox prevail. Number 6 seed beats the number 11 seed, and they advance to play the Cubs in the next round. This definitely looks like it could be a video-worthy game. with some interest there from both teams. So that's going to do it from here. I hope everybody enjoyed that and enjoys whatever whatever game you choose to play and whatever rules you choose to play it. And I'm kind of limited on some videos that I can do here lately because we're doing some remodeling at home, and my usual area to play these games has been kind of in chaos. So I'm doing these after work at home. I'm trying to do some live videos, but it seems like every time I try to do a live video, one of the Earls is also doing a live video. So I just default and play it offline and figure you guys can watch it later. I don't want to step on their toes when they're trying to do live broadcasts. So it is what it is, but that's okay. Live or not, you can watch it at your leisure, and that way everybody's happy. All right, so that's it from here. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed that ball game. The 0-4 Red Sox eking out a victory over the 77 Phillies by the final score of 6-5, as Curt Schilling, with relief help from Keith Folk, was able to get it done despite 2 home runs by Mike Schmidt. So until next time, hope you are having a great week doing whatever you're doing. The weekend's almost here, and I will see everybody down the road.